We're with Coach Wheatley, 23-21 win over Michigan Tech in the GLIAC opener. First of all, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your overall thoughts on the win?
Complementary football is what we've been talking about all year, and we finally put it together. And what I mean by complementary football is when your special teams not making, simple mistakes where the offense has to travel 85, 90, 95 yards, right? The offense is moving the ball, and then all of a sudden we punt, we can flip the field where the defense isn't, playing in their red zone. And you see when our defense is healthy and they're fresh, they play well. Where our offense isn't getting 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. So this complementary football, and when you can play great complementary football, it shows tonight. Now, we did make some, I call it mental error bust where just went off the reservation. But other than that, they played great complementary football tonight.
Yeah, to that point, time of possession, big time in your favor today. You didn't turn the ball over at all. You mentioned the defense being not tired at the end of the game. Is that one of the reasons why they stepped up there and made that stop at the end?
Yes, exactly. Because once again, it just complements the other. Your defense isn't on the field, 95% of the time. So now when it's time for them, they're bending, but then when it's time for them to break, they don't. They put that iron rod in that back and they stiffen up and they get the stop because they're fresh. Now all of a sudden the offense doesn't have a chance to cycle through their entire playbook and then say, okay, this is what they're doing, let's hit them with this. Now the offense is trying to get a point where they are rallying to make a play.
I thought another big key to the game was the kicking game. You made all the field goals that you attempted. They missed a few in the first half. Just talking about that being the difference in the game as well.
Oh, of course. The win being a factor, a huge factor.
Always is.
But I'm gonna just tell you this: we put Griff in those situations, in practice. I'll see where the wind is blowing, and give him situations, wet balls, 56-yarders, people coming off, and we put him in all these adverse situations. So for that guy to go out there today and make those kicks, he's mentally locked in, he's focused, but he's been there. So we try and make practice hell for him, and he comes through.
I know you like taking things week to week, but how big was it after losing late last week to come back league opener today? It's kind of a fresh start to the season. You're now 1-0 in league play. How big was it to come back today and close out the win and get a stop in that final drive?
Absolutely huge, because what we did was we just said this was a new season. Mm-hmm. It's like NCAA basketball, tournament time, conference time, right? Yep. Last week was last week. Let's dump it. Let's get rid of it. But let's take away. We preach in our locker room as well is don't waste adversity. There's opportunity in adversity. The circumstances. What were the circumstances that we went through or we caused ourselves to lose that game in a close bit, right? Complementary football, we talked about that. That was one. We didn't play complementary football. 2, guys mentally blowing coverages or mentally breaking down on offense at the worst time. Learning how to stay locked in. Learning how to play ahead. So those were the things we took, and those are the things we concentrated on. Taking away the dumb penalties. We had a few, but none like we had last week that really hurt us and took us out of a field goal or scoring opportunities, or put them in scoring opportunities. So those were the things we talked about, and we just said, hey, listen, fellas, scrap that first half of the season. We've learned, let's take it and let's use it.
Yeah, Coach, you're 3 for 3 on red zone chances today. How do you make sure, when you're in the red zone, you're punching it in?
Well, going back to where last week, we were in the red zone, 4 times?
I think so, yeah.
And offsides, 2 offsides, which took us out, right, at the kick, and just missed opportunities. You just got to go back, right? So last week, those were inopportune times, right? We talk about adversity. So you just come back and you work on it every week. You work on it and you put them in the worst opportunity. They drive the ball, and let's just say, for instance, they're driving the ball in practice. Maybe somebody didn't hold, but I'll say he held. But we're going for it. I want to see how they bounce back mentally. So just like, Griff, we're putting him in those adverse situations, you try and put the team in an adverse situation. But then you also don't want them to make those mistakes. But if they do, mentally, can you let it go, come back, lock in, and say, hey, let's go for it? Coming back to it, you talk about the red zone, I felt great about my defense. That's why we went for the fourth down on our side of the field. I felt great about the defense. Which in turn, the defense looks at me and say, hey, Coach, thanks for believing in us, right? So it's just basically giving them the tools to believe in themselves, but also putting them in a situation to where they can overcome it, not only physically but mentally.
Okay. And I know you've had 3-4 upcoming on 4 back-to-back games, and then I think you're traveling on the road for 2 back-to-back. How does the preparation for those 2 games change?
Don't change. Don't change. It does not change. That's one of the things in the past, this team, the weather changed, the leads, anything changed, it was, oh my God. You keep it consistent. Nothing changes. We're going to prepare as if we're home or if we're away. We're going to prepare as if there's nobody in the stands. There's 100,000 in the stands. So nothing changes. Nothing changes at all.
That's all I have.
All right, Coach, congratulations, and go get them next week.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right, we're here with Kendall Williams, running back for Wayne State, first 100-yard rushing day of the season. First of all, congratulations on the win. Talk about the win overall and what it took to get the win today.
Honestly, it just took us executing, minimalizing the mistakes that we have made in the previous games, and just putting it all out there, showing everything that we can possibly do, and just eliminating the what if or the potential that we have in the games that we play, and showing what we have.
Tough loss last week late to Concordia. How did you put that behind you to get ready for this week and come out on top?
We put it all out there, understood what we had to do, and we just realized that coming into the GLIAC, it wasn't going to be easy. We just put it behind us. It was a tough loss, but put it behind us and just worked as hard as we could.
Talk about your offensive line today. You had some pretty big ones out there to run through.
Yeah, they stepped up. They've been working hard, just as much as the running backs been working hard, and I feel like it clicked for us, and we just tried to be as vocal as we could between us two, the lineman and the running back, even the quarterback, and just worked as hard as we could executing each play.
I know the game's only been over for 20 minutes, but how do you now move on to try to get 2 in a row next week against a pretty good Davenport team?
What usually teams say 24 hours, it's homecoming, so hopefully it's not longer than 24. And we just enjoy the time that we do have and realize once we get back on this field, it's business. So, yeah.
Actually, I will ask one question. Sorry. You're averaging over 5.5, or averaging over 5 yards per carry. What are you doing throughout the week to make sure that you produce on each and every touch?
We're, like I said, it's repetitive because that's exactly what our focus is, executing what we practice to do. So our landmarks, our steps, everything like that, it comes in practice and it shows in the game. So.
I got one more question for you. Coach brought this up as well, but how much does it help confidence-wise that he showed confidence in your offense there? A 4th and 1 in the 4th quarter at your own 29-yard line to say, hey, we got confidence in you to go for it and pick up that first down.
It's a lot of confidence that our offense can get from that, simply because, like you said, a coach trusts in you. A coach trusts you to make that play. A coach put the ball in your hands to make that play, so you got to make it happen.
All right, Kendall, thanks for joining us, and congratulations.
Thanks.
We're here with Dalen Peeks, safety for Wayne State. First of all, congratulations on the win. What did you see out there, especially on the defensive side there?
Saw a lot of motion, saw a lot of physicality from both sides of the ball, honestly, because we knew coming into the game it was going to be a physical game. We were going to have to tackle down the ball, and I feel like started off rough, but we ended up getting the game plan done.
Almost a bend but don't break defense. You guys gave up a lot of yards, but only 21 points. Talk about that.
So we knew coming into the game that Michigan Tech, they score a lot of points, and we knew that. So we knew that when they make their plays, we got to respond. So the game, they went out there and they made their plays. Give them that. And we made some mistakes. I'll give us that. But at the same time, we responded well. And I feel like that's what ended up winning us the game, is how we responded.
Talk about your mentality on the last drive. They got the ball at the 35-yard line, first and 10, only need a field goal to win the game. Talk about what it took to step up there and get a stop.
Don't let them score, honestly, because they broke a big run. So that kind of that set people off a little bit. But like I said, we were able to respond. We knew the situation. We were able to get them backed up. 3rd and long, 4th and long, so we knew bow up, lean on our technique, lean on our teammates, honestly, and we'll be able to get a stop, go home with a win.
Coach Wheatley brought it up when he was in here about the confidence that he has in the defense going forward on 4th and 1 from your own 29,
Definitely.
midway through the 4th quarter. Just talk about that and what kind of confidence that gives you.
Those are my guys. Like we said, I try to pour into my teammates. I try to like give my teammates all the credit, because at the end of the day, like, it's not just me out there, it's all of us. It's 11 people on defense, and I got all the confidence in the world in myself and in my teammates. So at the end of the day, offense go for it on 4th and 1. Let's say we don't get it, I'm confident we'll go out there and get a stop.
Your head coach and your teammate who was just in here have mentioned the word confidence quite a bit, and yourself as well during these interviews. Just talk about the confidence you now have after winning here at home. League opener, you're now 1-0 in the league. It's like a new season. How do you carry that over to next week?
Move on to the next game, go through the game plan, study, because we play Davenport next week. We know that's a big home game. They're going to come in with a lot of energy, a lot of juice. They always bring a lot of swagger, so we're going to have to be able to respond, bring our own confidence into the game, and go out there and get a win, get it done.
Yeah. I think as soon as they came out in the 3rd quarter, they had a touchdown pass that kind of went over the head of you guys. How do you guys bounce back from a play like that and make sure they only score, I think, maybe 1 or 2 more times in the second half?
Like I said, we really had to respond because we knew they were going to come out here and make plays. Like I said, that was a really good Michigan Tech team. They had a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball. And when they made their play, yeah, it was kind of a shock at first, but we had to go out there, we had to adjust, see what we did wrong, what we can do better, and move forward, play our game.
All right, congratulations on the win. Go get them next week.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
Nice job. Congratulations. All right, we're here with Colby Horn, defensive end for Wayne State. First of all, congratulations on the win. Just talk about what you saw out there today in the field.
I mean, a lot of our guys doing our assignments, which we've had a little trouble with in the last few weeks, but everybody just you do your job, own your 11th, and overall as a defense, I feel like we played a pretty good game. And then on the offensive side of the ball, what I could see, the O-line, our O-line, they were kicking ass this week. Kicking ass, moving people off the ball. I was just watching it. We were running the ball. We were running the ball awesome. I think everybody had a pretty good game. Feels good to get one under the belt.
Yeah, good shout out to the O-line. A lot of big holes out there today. Talk about defensively on that last drive. You talked about giving up a few big plays. You gave up one on the previous possession to cut it to a 2-point game. Then you had a long run there to the 35-yard line. What was going through your head? What was the mentality there to get that stop?
It's just a next play mentality. Like, that plays, you can't do anything but the pass now. It's what you got what you got. And we're going to go out and give it our all every play. So,
do you feel like you can kind of use that last possession there of stopping them and winning the ball game, going off the field there with a big win, 1-0 now in league play, to kind of boost you into next week into Davenport and this defense continue to get better?
100%, but at the same time, Sunday we're going to watch the film, and then Tuesday we're going to be right back at it. We're new week, new team, ready to go.
Your head coach brought this up, your last 2 teammates as well. We talked about going for it on the offensive side there, 4th and 1 from your own 29, midway through the 4th quarter.
I loved everything.
Talk about that and the confidence it just gives you as a team that, hey, your head coach believes in you. Hey, even if we don't make it, he said, hey, I got confidence in my defense to get a stop either way.
I love the decision. I love that we got it. I knew we were going to get it. Our line was kicking ass today. It was 1 yard. We got it.
And talk about it was windy. It's always windy here at Wayne State. I've been here a long time now. I know it's always windy. But talk about your kicking game today. You guys won the kicking game. Your head coach talked about you won all 3 facets of the game today, and that's why you won. Let's talk about the kicking game and how good a job your kicker did today.
Griffin's a beast, man. He put everything through there. Even we had one that called a timeout on. He still made that. Still made that one. We had good protection all around. Just a good day.
I just got one question for you. Their quarterback, he ran a couple of times throughout the game. Was that something you planned coming into the game, or did you have to make adjustments throughout the game for that?
Yeah, during film this week, we knew he was going to get out of the pocket. He's an athletic kid, but a big thing this week, keep it contained, make sure we keep him in the pocket. I think we did a pretty good job of that for the most part. I mean, he got out on us a few times, but
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen, yeah.
Well, hey, congratulations on the win. Go get him next week.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah.